From the flock of birds production studio, it's time for the Mountaineer Ramble with your hosts, John Covey Cole, Michael Covey, and Jack Kincaid. Now, let's join the guys and talk Mountaineer football.
In for the field goal. Remember Josh Lambert, the outstanding star kicker, out for the first 3 games. A 19-yarder to get the first points of the day.
Then covering and making that the only option for the quarterback.
One breaks wide open for Crawford here. Look out! 23, first down after the penalty. Nice play. Little delay. Shell! Rostro Shell! Touchdown!
And still going to run the football out of that middle.
Pocket dropped and it's recovered by West Virginia. The charter from the right hash. He boots it through, and the lead up to 13.
Did you mention Rich Rod?
Rich Rod is certainly, he and Tavon Austin and that group on a marvelous run that Henderson inherited. Speaking of runs, how about this one from Sheldon Gibson, along with Locke. Locke runs into a Mountaineer onslaught.
He's going to keep rotating the quarterbacks. We just got to be focused.
Russell Shell pops it to open the half. And Ohio. The swing of the safety valve, but Shell again. Russell sets sail inside the 20. Tips to the bottom of your screen. Pass is caught. That is Schultz again. DeKeel down to the 10. Yeah, there it is. Touchdown. Alex Ross is stopped behind the line of scrimmage back at the 3. Kazir White again with the stop.
In the center, over the center, and being one guy to take up 2 responsibilities.
Molina gets it through from the right hash. Pressure from the backside. It's Justin Arndt. And you aren't either. Molina from 33 yards. Working the draw right through there for yet another field goal.
Well, there you have it, guys. There's week 1 in the books. Missouri handled them. Not a lot of trouble. Obviously, there's some things I would have liked to have seen differently. But overall, I was pleased with how we played.
Defense impressed me.
Yeah. You know, a lot of people was making plays on the ball. You know, we forced 1 fumble.
I didn't agree with that tactic at the end of the game. That could have gotten very costly for me personally.
What are we talking about?
Putting in our stringers at the end of the game.
Very
I like seeing.
Maybe if we was up 30 points.
But too close for comfort.
Yeah,
no
too close. Yeah.
You know, our offense performed phenomenal, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You know, obviously there's still some things there you touched on it last week. You know, you want Skylar Howard to be less Menzellish. It's still there.
Yeah.
But it's better than it was last year.
I wish our backups would have been more Menzellish.
You know, I texted you from the game and I said, hey, you know, he's showing a lot more poise in the pocket.
Right.
Missouri is not very good.
No.
Might not win a game in the
front
SEC.
guys are pretty good. And I thought
Big,
our offensive line,
strong,
skill players,
tall guys in the front
Yeah.
that were getting hands on Skylar, and he didn't lose the poise when he was back there. I was impressed with that. Kid's still short, unfortunately.
Speaking of offensive line, you know, Yodney went out with the ACL. But the backup to come in, that McKivitz, I thought he did a great job.
Yeah, he lined up against the best pass rusher.
I thought the line in general played very well. Physically, they were overmatched, maybe skill-wise and everything. It really shows that they can play.
Oh, yeah, totally.
I don't think some of the play calling, especially throughout the first half, complemented our strengths.
I was listening to Dana's press conference today, and I didn't think about it at the time, but he made a good point. You know, a lot of their defensive plays, they pulled their cornerbacks, safeties back. And that's why it was hard to get that deep ball in there. And you see what happened that one time Skylar Howard tried to force the deep ball in there through an interception. But hopefully things like you said, he's poised. For the most part, I didn't feel like he made many mistakes. There was a lot of balls that he didn't put where they needed to go. But he still went 23 for 35 with 253 yards passing.
Not a terrible day in the least. You're going to see a recurring problem. You're going to see when we need that deep option, it's going to be difficult for him to deliver that over really, really tall lines.
Yeah.
Guess what? Texas, you saw him the other night. Tall, fast, strong.
Wow.
Going to be tough.
We'll talk about those guys a little bit more in a little bit.
Yeah.
But I was blown away by how good them guys were. Charlie Strong's got them guys going in the right direction.
Yeah, just swooped in there.
They did. No, I'll tell you who swooped in there was Houston. They swooped right in there.
Houston.
Woo! Anyway, we'll get back to that in a little bit. Nikhil Shorts had 8 receptions for 131 yards. Great job, sir. Great job. I think one he caught was like 29 yards. I want to see more of that. I want to see Shelton Gibson get more. He caught the ball 6 times for 39 yards. Like I said, they're not getting them downfield. Karan White 2 passes, 2 catches for 32 yards, which was
his brother ain't mad at that.
All right. Hear me out. I like the receiver play. I like how they came back on the ball. We got a bad report from preseason. They were kind of laying down.
Yeah.
Coach Happy got pretty mad about
Coach Happy was not happy.
Was not happy.
Not happy.
Now, I'll say from the game, when they figure out that the deep threat isn't there, a lot of times those guys checked down and Skylar checked down and went into the flat, and we picked them apart.
Right. If
we can do that consistently, it's going to make the offense very dangerous because you guys, you call me out here if I'm wrong, but offensive player of the week, in your all's opinion,
Nikhil Shorts.
Okay.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
I was going to go with Justin Crawford.
Crawford was impressive.
Numbers wise, I think it'd be Shorts, but sure. Crawford, a new face.
He really put us over the top.
Yeah,
he did. And a mixture between him and Shell.
Very balanced running game.
I love it.
It
was very much so reminded me of last season when you had Wendell, Smallwood, and Shell splitting the runs. Anxious to see how they're going to move. I was seeing Dana was talking about it that Justin Crawford's also a very good receiver, and with that defense that Missouri was running against, and so he wasn't able to do all that they would like to do. I'm anxious to see, what's going to happen when we get him in there and Rush Rochelle at the same time. Where's the ball going? Nobody knows.
Put him out in the slot.
Well, I was really impressed with their second chance yards too.
Totally.
You saw a lot of the interior shut down. That was really Missouri's strength, probably their only weapon.
Yeah.
And the backs got a lot of second chance yards, yards after contact, and really enjoyed that part of the game.
Yeah.
On Saturday.
Shelton Gibson, he was returning kicks and punts. Obviously I wish he would. The punt return team has always been a fear of mine down there in football.
Well, yeah, past few years.
Fair catch that ball, son. You're scaring me, man.
Well, there was a few years that we just gave up playing it.
Yeah.
And basically, we took that out of our game,
Right,
took it out
right.
of the tool bag, and we didn't use
And
it.
wearing that number 1, that's a lot to live up to.
He's got
That's a whole
whenever
lot
he
to
was
live up
catching
to.
the kick return, Missouri didn't score a whole lot, but when they did, he was he averaged, let's see, he got 32, averaged 19 yards a return. I think he had 2 of them. That's not bad. I'll take it. And Mike Molina, Josh Lambert's suspended. I think he's got 3 more games out.
Yeah.
If I'm Dana, I'm like, am I bringing Lambert back? Actually, I am bringing Lambert back. That dude's got a cannon on that.
Yeah.
But, Mike Molina picked up the slack, 14 points he gave us there. Billy Kenny, he was punting the ball very well.
No boom stash.
But, he could
They got her done.
very easily be.
Wasn't bad. Wasn't
bad at all. I'd like to see more of, the wide receiver core get involved this coming week. Justin Crawford, like you said, though, you can't say enough about that guy.
Yeah.
Rush Rochelle, in my opinion, he's improved. He's hitting the hole a lot faster now. He's still dancing a little bit, but for the most part, he's getting in there. And he's like, hey, this Crawford kid's going to take my job. I better run the ball.
Well, I think by the time we see BYU run around, which is the 4th week, 3rd game, I think you'll see Shell all cylinders.
I think so.
Especially
Yeah.
with the performance by
Yeah,
Crawford.
how
Like
about-
I said, that's my vote for the week. But kid was really impressive.
He was.
Hungry.
How about Elijah Wellman? He only got a couple carries, but that dude was. You
He's in there busting some heads. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen him.
he was in there getting him a little bit of something.
Yeah, he said, I like
Overall, our run game and even our receiving game, because we didn't really have deep throws.
Yeah.
I really liked us turning upfield and going for that when there was a lack of vertical threat from our pass. You know, these guys would get open and make a lot of second chance yards.
yeah.
And,
One thing I didn't like, a couple things I didn't like about the offense was, we went 6 and 16 on third down. Yeah, that might get us past the Missouri or
Sure.
Youngstown State.
Probably not even the BYU.
Maybe Oklahoma after what happened to them.
Yeah.
Easy.
Oh,
Easy.
Cougars
Those
got
boys
into
gonna be
him.
mad.
Good old JR, how you like that barbecue
boy.
sauce? Anyway, and another stat I wasn't real happy with was 1 and 5 in the red zone.
Sure.
That's you got to do better than that.
You got my three big points on criticisms this week. Three turnovers.
Unacceptable.
Can't do it.
You play these bigger schools, you're going to lose the ball game every
Eat us
time.
alive.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah. Now I know it's first game. There's a lot of bugs to be worked out still, but you got 2 games and you got a break, so we really have to be hitting all cylinders, jamming all 6 gears, if you know what I'm saying, and doing that for BYU.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got to be.
What I saw in them, they're fast.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they were very impressive. I'll tell you who else was impressive this week that really surprised me. We talked about it a little bit earlier was Texas. Those guys, I knew Charlie Strong was building his team back, but it surprised me how quick he come back. 50-47, them Notre Dame. I don't know how I don't know how good Notre Dame is. I don't know how good Texas is. But from, last year to this year,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, Notre Dame's overrated.
Well, that's what you always say. And
That's what's always true.
Did anybody feel in that game that you had absolutely nowhere to go with that? Nothing at all. I mean, you have a Texas, which, for lack of a better term, there are no real rivalries in the Big 12 that we hold, but you had a Texas, which I can't cheer for, and you had Notre Dame.
we ain't going to talk about that too much.
Yeah.
Old Lou Hawk.
Yeah.
Houston, I seen where they're going to talk. I think one of you guys were telling me a little bit ago. Houston's going to go and talk to.
Yeah, making their bid to join the Big 12.
The way I look at it, they just made their bid.
Yep.
Yeah, danger close.
Proof's in the pudding.
Wow. Wow.
Was it going to be like 6 or 7 teams from Texas in the Big 12 if they come in?
Yeah.
I've said this, and I criticize a lot in the Big 12 because, I'm a negative person. And, no, not really, but one of the best
Jack, you're
things...
scaring the kids.
One of the best things about this league is every year you get to line up against an Oklahoma. Not because I'm a fan of Oklahoma, but I have a lot of respect for that squad. Good tradition, great athletes, great coaching. Everything is there to test your mettle against.
Yeah.
And for us, I like that. I like that matchup every year. It's even become good in basketball.
Yeah.
The great thing about it is you get to see what you have against them and what you're holding.
Yeah.
Houston's done everything right here, so
Yeah.
I don't expect them not to be able to.
They
join.
picked up right where they left off last
Come
season.
on in, boys.
Yeah.
Welcome to the party.
Air raid.
There was, totally. I mean, they fit in well in the Big 12.
Yeah.
A couple other games. Stanford squaz by. Is that a word? Squaz?
Well, I mean,
It is now.
Yeah, I like that.
Stanford squaz by Kansas State.
First week it was Manzelish.
And
Yeah.
now it's squaz. Hey, we got our own little
Mountaineer Ramble Dictionary.
That's
They
exactly
squaz
right.
by. That's the truth. Coach Snyder, love him, hate him, whatever you have for him. Still a great program.
Yeah. He's a good football mind. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oklahoma State, they killed Southwestern Louisiana 61-7, which was expected.
Yeah.
Kansas mowed down Rhode Island, so I don't know what that says about Rhode Island.
I think Beckley's bigger in Rhode Island, so.
Yeah.
I've been to Rhode Island a couple times.
Did you get a Coney while you was there?
No, I played ball there
Oh.
once.
TCU, this is another one that surprised me. I was worried about TCU coming into this season. They squazzed by South Dakota State 59-41. And South Dakota State, I know they've had a couple, good teams in the past, but that really surprised me. I heard hype from TCU all off season.
They're a Boykin list this year, so that's a pretty big gap to fill.
That is, but 59-41.
South Dakota, the kid's going to start for the Eagles this week, right?
Carson Wentz.
Wentz, yeah.
He's hard to see whenever he's far off. You got to Wentz so you can see him.
Wow. Wow.
See that down there?
That's
See that down there?
right there.
Let him fly, ladies and gentlemen. Let him go. Let her eat.
Next week, TCU has Arkansas. I don't know where Arkansas is at right now. I didn't get to watch it play this past weekend because there were so many games on.
Mm-hmm.
But that might be, TCU falling off right there. I don't know. Oklahoma State's playing Central Michigan. I don't think that's going to come anything. I think Oklahoma State is going to handle that pretty well. Oklahoma's got Louisiana Monroe, which is not a gimme. They've had a good team in the past.
Mm-hmm.
No, and hopefully it's a systematic failure for Oklahoma, but I don't think so, knowing their history.
I say they're going to be hungry. After what just happened, they're going to be like, eh.
Yeah.
Guys, let's go ahead and take a break and get a word from our sponsors. We'll be right back.
The Mountaineer Ramble, sponsored in part by El Mariachi, Mexican restaurant and cantina on Airport Road in Beaver. Open 7 days a week, offering a mouth-watering array of delicious Mexican cuisine. Stop by and see Jay and Jose, and you'll see for yourself why El Mariachi was voted the best Mexican restaurant in southern West Virginia. El Mariachi will spice up your day.
Hey guys, back here at the Ramble. Got Michael Covey to my right, Jack Kincaid to my left. I'm John Covey Cole. We're going to go now to Mikey's Play of the Week, and there was a lot of good plays, so I imagine it was hard to pick one. But
one definitely stood out.
Okay,
in my opinion.
Tell us all about it.
It was Houston, Oklahoma.
Okay.
It was Austin Syvert's 53-yard field goal attempt. Fell just short. Brandon Wilson caught it. Back of the end zone. Very back of the end zone. Ran it back 109 yards. 6 points. Untouched.
That was a beautiful play. Go ahead and check this out real quick.
For Austin Seibert. It's short, and here's Brandon Wilson returning it. Wilson past the 30, past the 40. Wilson might take it all the way. He hurdles his own man and takes it home. Touchdown, Houston!
I'll tell you what, boys, that reminds me a lot of the
Chris Davis, Auburn.
Yeah. You'd think these guys would learn their lesson by now. Put a linebacker.
Yeah, but they got a bunch of linemen.
I know. Put a couple on them long field goals. Put a couple linebackers in there on the kick team,
but how often? I've seen this twice in my lifetime.
That was a beautiful play, though. Like I said, there was a lot of good plays to pick from. That was a good one. But yeah, that was very, very swell.
Yeah. College football's here.
It is definitely here, and we're just getting started. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful week one.
Drink it in.
Drink it in, man. But right now, since we got Mikey's favorite play of the week, we're going to go over to Jack and get his disappointment of the week.
This is a little segment that I like to call Crack Back Jack's Disappointment of the Week. Probably everyone saw this, and it's hard to argue that Josh Boutte from LSU's disappointment overwhelmed him and forced him to put a forearm shiver and a bit of a helmet in Dakota Dixon's suck hole.
Let's go ahead and check that out if you guys haven't seen it.
Harris gets out of that trouble, puts himself in some more. Picked off by Dakota Dixon.
But that play was horrendous, man. I remember I was watching the game when it happened live. I've rewinded it probably 5 times. Wow. I thought, well, maybe he didn't think the play was dead. But the guy's running across the field. You guys seen it with the ball in his hand.
Now, look, I mean, anybody that's ever played, everybody that's picked up a ball, either practice or a game, you've probably been part of a play like that. If not involved, you were on the field when it happened. Emotions run high. LSU was, I think, at the point, 2nd and 15, 3rd and 15. And, the line's out there all day working hard.
Yeah.
Successful offense is built off of repetition and minimizing mistakes and things of that nature. And when something like that happens, it's very easy to ignite.
Oh, yeah. You already got all your juices flowing out there.
Juices definitely
I
flowing.
did read today, I was kind of disappointed. The kid gets 1 game suspension from LSU, and that's the only thing that is going to come up. And NCAA is not going to push anything. He gets 1 game suspension.
And you think too light?
You got these kids out here, they're out here doing dope or something. They get 4 games, 5 games, and then this kid comes out here and about kills this kid.
There's a lot of disparity there.
Yeah.
And one thing we need to do is just say Dakota Dixon, a heck of a heads-up play.
Yeah.
Great interception.
Totally.
Really chilled what LSU was bringing
I'll
out there.
say it was chill.
Then Mr. Boutte came and chilled him.
Yeah.
Now, you don't know if there was something going on, if there's some kind of history there or whatever. Probably unlikely, Wisconsin, LSU. But, you never want to see that. That's why it's the disappointment of the week.
Yeah, totally. Anyway, let's go ahead and go to Chris Meadows here with the Prep Ramble, talk a little bit about high school football.
I like that guy.
Hey folks, Chris Meadows here for the High School Ramble, and this week represents week 2, and I will run through the scores of the games that matter and the games that will on Friday. In Class AAA, well, there isn't much to talk about in our area. Martinsburg is very good. Huntington, Morgantown also look great. By the way, Morgantown is quarterbacked by Dana Holgerson's son Logan. Greenbrier East beat Woodrow locally, and now Woodrow has a MSAC schedule ahead of them after they go to Bluefield, and folks, they may not win a game this season. Class AA is more wide open and by far the most competitive league in the state, except for one area, the top, where Bridgeport is uber dominant. The Indians are very, very tough, so much so that they beat number 2 Wheeling Park by 11 points at Wheeling Park. Now, locally, my Nicholas County Grizzlies topped the Shady Spring Tigers 60-0 behind Carter Sweeney's 4 touchdowns, and Westside crushed Wyoming East in the county battle 58-8. Liberty Raleigh squeaked out one in the battle of black and red uniforms 18-16 over Oak Hill, and the surprise of the state, Bluefield is 0-2, folks. Mingo Central Miners are rolling, and in Class Single A, Wheeling Central is dominant. Summers County settling into their new class well. Midland Trail is looking pretty nice after a victory over Greenbrier West. Fayetteville, they're pretty dominant behind their great quarterback Will Fenton, and they crushed Valley Fayette on Friday night. And Richwood, they're still trying to get win number 1. Games to note this week in Class AAA is going to be Martinsburg, Princeton. Cabell Midland visits Hurricane, and Preston visits Greenbrier East. In AA, Nicholas County visits Wyoming East. You can catch all the action on 105 WKQV. And in other action, James Monroe visits Independence, who is a surprising 2-0. And in the battle of attrition, Woodrow Wilson does travel to Bluefield. Let's see who can win their first game this season. Liberty travels to Pikeview to play yet another team that shares their uniform color. And in Single A, Fayetteville plays Richwood. Summers County hosts Shady Spring, and Midland Trail travels to Meadow Bridge. There are other games, but I've only got so much time. Catch me next week for the High School Ramble and the Week 3 wrap-up.
Chris, we appreciate that, brother. Always good to hear from you. I've really enjoyed your insight there. Hopefully we'll have you on again next week for the Prep Ramble. But now, we done talked about the Missouri game. We must move forward.
Yeah.
We got Youngstown State this weekend.
Yeah, and Penguins.
Which I kind of brushed it off a little bit until I started doing a little research. Bo Pelini,
former Nebraska
coach of Nebraska, is there as their head coach. And that's
no pushover.
No.
Far.
The ominous presence of former coach and current president Jim Tressel is there.
He's there too.
Yeah,
that's right.
as well.
Probably got them sweater vest on, as always.
I think that's sewn in. Right?
That's part of his being.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think he had to go to plastic surgeon when he went there and had the colors changed
Yes.
to accommodate
Look like
the Penguins colors.
Barely. I mean, it's pretty close. Pretty close.
Penn State
It's that
Penguins.
space age material that Elvis used to wear, where sweat actually cleans the garment.
Well, they last week they played Duquesne. Which
Another basketball team.
I didn't know they had a football team.
They play football. They play at the high school field. What I heard. No disrespect, boys, but I wasn't aware you had a football team either. Yeah. They rushed 394 yards against them, and they only gave up 34 yards. But like I said, who's Duquesne? I don't know much about them. I don't know much about Youngstown State. Their quarterback, his name is Ricky Davis. Old man Davis's boy.
Little Ricky Davis.
Little Ricky Davis.
Grew up.
Grown up
down the road there.
Probably 6 foot something.
6 foot
Probably
something.
200 some pounds.
Yeah.
He's got arms. He throws balls.
Yeah.
And hands them off.
Torso and
he runs the ball too. He went 12 for 16 for 187 yards, 3 touchdowns, 49 was his longest pass.
Does it say if he's taller than Skylar Howard?
It doesn't, but that wouldn't be much of a feat if he was.
Mm-hmm.
He had 10 rushes for 74 yards, so the guy's obviously dual threat, so it might be something to keep an eye on.
But once again, we are not Duquesne.
We are not Duquesne. But then again, Jim Trussell, Bo
Pelini, stuff's going to happen.
I was watching Dana's presser, and he said that this offense is going to be a lot different than the offense we faced against Missouri. So they're going to be a lot more relaxed, laid back,
take their time,
huddle up, which is going to be different than what the kids saw last week. So,
hey, well, the more time they take, the more time we got to take.
They got a couple. They had 7 people running the ball last week against Duquesne.
Once.
At one time.
We gotta watch out for these
Statue of
guys.
Liberty type deal.
That's
rugby.
Penguin football.
Tevin McCaster, 7 rushes for 107 yards. Jody Webb, 11 for 96 yards. Martin Ruiz, 17 rushes, 89 yards. And then Ricky Davis, 10 and 74 yards. And there was a couple more that I didn't mention there in my notes. But they're getting the ball around, so it might be something to keep an eye on. I don't know if these guys are wide receivers or if they're just all halfback, fullback guys they bring in for different formations. But
honestly, you know what it is a lot of guys that have talent and can play and probably got picked over by a couple other schools, and they figured out that Youngstown's a really good program, and they're going to go in there. They're going to be fundamentally sound.
Yep.
They're going to play with a chip on their shoulder. So, honestly, we need to lock that down. Go in.
Duquesne did throw for 188 yards, even though they only rushed for 34. So, obviously, right there excites me because that means Duquesne was getting open. So, our boys is going to be getting open.
Short's going to be. It'll be all right.
Yeah, Shep Gibson, Karan White, Gary Jennings,
Crawford and Shell. We all gonna get some. Skylar.
Yeah. We'll just slam the door on them, and hopefully our boys up front play well again, and our backs get out and get nasty and get greedy. I like a greedy back.
I like greedy backs too. But let's go ahead and take a quick shot here. We got some video footage of the last week's game against Duquesne. You guys check them out there. See if there's anything you guys notice that we don't notice. Shoot us an email. We're on Twitter at wvramble.com. But anyway, go ahead and check this video out real quick. Tell us what you think.
One of the many talents Ricky Davis brings to the table is the ability to run. And on the Penguins' very first possession, he took off. Davis finished with 74 yards rushing, 27 of which came on this first down gallop. A few plays later, Davis goes to the air, a perfect spiral strike, hitting Youngstown Christian grad Darian Townsend in stride. It's a 49-yard touchdown, giving the Penguins an early 7-0 lead. Davis was 12 of 16 on the night for 187 yards and 3 touchdowns. The running game was just as productive. Martin Ruiz rumbles in for a 7-yard touchdown. YSU racked up over 600 yards of total offense tonight, 400 of which came on the ground. The defense was stingy too. They held the Dukes to just 34 yards rushing. And YSU's all-time sack leader, Derek Rivers, made his presence felt. Number 11 recorded his first sack of the 2016 season.
Well, that's a little bit about what we got coming in to Morgantown this weekend. But, kind of broke it down. There's where we're at. Now, before we get to picking our scores for the week, for the game this weekend, I'll go over here to Jack, and he's going to throw you guys out another trivia question. If you got the answer, email us, get a hold of us on Twitter, get you some free stuff.
All right.
Ramble stuff.
Yes, ramble on.
All right, Ramble fans, here we go. So, in the 1994 NCAA 1AA championship game, who did Youngstown State play, and what field did they play on? So, we've got your answer. If you want to come back at us with that, just send it in. And we'll get you something real ramble nice.
It was a football field, right?
It's a football field.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe so.
It is a football field, yes.
American football field.
Correct.
Okay.
But it might have lines for
Other
the
sports?
other football. I don't know what you're doing to me here.
What is this?
I can't work
Where
with this.
are we? Anyway, guys, I've had enough of you guys for the week, so let's go ahead and throw out our picks. I say we're going to win 38-6. I don't think we're going to let them in the end zone. I do think they're going to sneak pass, especially if Dana decides to put their third, fourth string in again, like he did last week. I say 38-6 is the final score. Mountaineers. Mikey, what you got?
I got 41-7.
Ooh, we'll break the big 40, huh?
Yeah. You can let them in the end zone one time. But 41-7, Mountaineers.
I'm going to go 42-20. Mountaineers on top.
20. Wow, you think they're going to give them that much? Huh?
Second, third string.
Yes, they're very charitable.
Yes. Is that a part of the game?
Well,
Yeah.
We're very lackadaisical.
it's been real. It's been fun. Well, that pretty much sums it up for today, guys. We really appreciate you guys tuning in with us here today. And we will see you guys next week. But until then, ramble on.
The time has come to be gone. And though our health we drank 1,000 times, it's time to ramble on.